Hi, in today's video we're going to be at the EMA's office to have a chat with Sangita, a DEI and accessibility consultant. And as you can see, testing out the building ramp wasn't a good idea. With that being said, welcome back to Deconstructing Accessibility.
See, my background, I'm totally from communications industry.
Yeah.
Handling clients. I was working as I have had quite a long career by now.
Yeah.
So started off in Corpcom, then went into journalism, spent 11 years.
Can you go back?
I started off first in corporate communication.
Okay. Corpcom, yeah, okay.
So that was my first job. After passing out from Nidishram College, I had a choice of either joining JNU for my masters or going into advertising and public relations at Indian Institute of Mass Communications, New Delhi.
Oh wow, yeah.
So I cleared both these exams. It was a few. my local guardian thought I was a boarder. I was in the hostel. So my local guardian's daughter happens to be my childhood friend. And she is kind of very protective about me.
Yeah.
She said, "You are a vela, you're not going to do anything." She was filling up her forms and she filled up my forms and I didn't know what she filled it up for. And she just asked me to sign and I signed it. I would have actually filled up my form for journalism, but she had filled it up for advertising and public relations. Anyway, I did that course and it was the first one to get a job. But then unfortunately I fell while coming down from one of the interviews and was in my kind of condition. I was walking, but with my kind of a problem, if you have injured one foot, means you're totally laid up. You can't do anything. I went back home. I came back after 4 months. My job was waiting for me, but I didn't take it up because somehow I had lost interest in that. That was the time when I had to reckon with being a disabled person. Till that time, I had never thought I was a person with disabilities because my disabilities had not hampered anything. I was a good student. Was doing self-studies even in college. In school, I started doing self-studies because I couldn't hear anything what the teachers were saying. And they were not empathetic. School teachers. My senior school went very bad. I could have ended up like the girl you spoke about. But the difference is of personality. I mean, I'm not the kind to just take things lying down and be very quiet about it. My 8th to 10th, 9th and 10th was pretty traumatic for me because I was sold on becoming the head girl of school after winning all these competitions and being, a head girl and a class captain and all blah blah blah. But wasn't nominated because of my disabilities. They were now quite obvious. So my school did not nominate my name for elections. And that was...
You won't be active in a...
I had a breakdown, nervous breakdown. 2 nervous breakdowns, 9th and 10th. But somehow I came out of it and I changed school for 12th, my plus 2 because we didn't have plus 2 in the school and I think that God's grace. So when I changed school in the new school, I was again, I got back my groove. My mojo, became the school secretary and a lot of recognition. I'm one of those typical very competitive kids I used to be. And my validation came from always excelling in whatever I'm doing. So when I prepared my first resume, I had this line, excelling in whatever I do. So that used to be my... So that kind of nature has its pros and cons. It has its negatives also because if you are not succeeding, then you start becoming very unhappy with yourself. But all that was fine. After I did very well in 12th and I went to LSR. LSR was a breeze because I couldn't hear anything. I don't know how I passed my 3 years of college self-studies. And I have a very, one memory I have mentioned of college. So one of the teachers, she was very strict and I would obviously not, if somebody comes to class, a lecturer and she says, open page number this and this, and I'm a literature student, okay. So that means a book of 500 pages and she would suddenly say 257 and I couldn't hear. either 2 or 7 or whatever. So I had to look in my neighbor's whatever she's doing to follow the page numbers.
Yeah.
Or when she was taking down notes, I would try to look and catch up, because typically girls wouldn't share their notes. You had to make your own note or try to take something down while you were in class. So I did my college and all, passed out, went to INC, then returned, went home, came back, then I had to go back again. Because although I got jobs, it was very tough getting them. And when I got them, a lot of other problems came up. Commuting. I could not travel by buses.
No.
By alone.
Yeah.
That was a big problem. And autos, I had to look for low floor autos.
Yeah.
And that time all the autos were most autos were high.
Yeah.
They weren't low floor autos. So I'd be stranded at Bikaji Kama place all alone at 10 p.m. and all, and it was pretty scary. Delhi has never been a city like it was never safe.
Yeah.
So my dad was kind of very disturbed about his safety.
Yeah.
He requested me to come back home to Patna. So I went back to Patna and I was on a very bad space, very bad.
I can understand. Yeah.
Self-pity.
Yeah.
And I've left all my friends in Delhi. Everybody from my batch has got great jobs. I'm the only one who's doing nothing and blah. One fine day, and my dad is a softie, and I was sitting with him. It was, I think, a Sunday or something, was at home. I was sitting and crying, and my dad, being dad, was all crying along with me, and then my brother comes in. And my brother couldn't walk that time, and we didn't have these motorized wheelchairs or small wheelchairs which we use at home. They used to be such shitty contraptions.
Yeah.
So my dad and my brother, between them, had innovated a kind of we call in Hindi machia. It's a low. It had a wooden plank for a seat and an iron frame, and they had 2 small wheels. So I used to roll those wheels. And he used to sit with his legs crossed on that platform.
On the floor, right?
Low.
Very low. So like we could...
a lot of people use that.
Yeah, he could be just lifted on it. And he would sit on it. He would cross his legs like this in lotus position. And then he would move for that. He would move his wheels. But that time he could sit. His back was straight. So he comes into the room and gives me a blasting and tells my dad, don't encourage and indulge her in the self-pity. And he gave me such a bad, horrible talk of my life. I can never forget. I remember word by word what he said to me.
And so grateful. You're so grateful now.
So he said, look around you and look below you. What are you moaning about? You have such a great education, you have a good family, you have support system, you're not on the streets, you're not begging. What's your problem? So
wonderful. Gratitude, it's very important.
It was a reality check, actually speaking. And that changed me quite a lot. I stayed back when I got into my first job. It was a very good company. It was undergoing a modernization function sponsored by the World Bank, 172 crores. And I was working as executive assistant to the managing director and handling the PR also. So I had very good exposure there. And then after 2 years, when my boss was retiring, he suggested I should move to journalism because I write very well. He made me rewrite the entire company manual. So that is how my career progressed and all. And I came on my own. Like after that phase where I struggled with self-pity and whatever you call it. It was something of a bad time. And I came out of it. So I've had a very good career. I've been very happy. And I have actually excelled in whatever I've done. Not been given sympathy. In fact, I've been treated very badly. Also by my boss. She expected the best from me, and if I wouldn't deliver, she would give me back. So, so what I feel is that is why I took 1 year break last year because I wanted to complete my PhD. I promised to my father.
Right.
I was never happy with me not doing academics and getting into a job.
Yeah.
But that time, though I was also keen on getting into either law or academics, I didn't, because I was advised that given my hearing handicap, I would find it difficult to manage as a lecturer and also as a practicing lawyer. So, but isn't it so ironical that being deaf, I did so well in communications field.
Yeah.
Where you need to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, Peter. What we need to work together on is to change the perspective of the people.
Yes.